Okay, Mom, another BTS video. Okay, today I'm gonna show you two videos. The first one will be a music video, and then the second one is the explanation for the music video. Cool?
Okay.
Okay, so this is Spring Day.
The
So, Spring Day.
spring day.
That's the title of the song.
Okay.
But we call it the Queen because it's been 3 years and this song is still in the charts.
Okay.
Okay?
Interesting.
Okay.
That must be really good. Is this in Korea?
Yes.
I love spring. From cold winter to spring. We should go to Korea.
Yes. I want to.
This is like, this is a love song. And they broke up.
Okay.
She left. Is the train, you see the train tracks, the railroad, and then the laundromat.
Does it connect to the story you have in mind?
What is that? A mountain of clothes?
Yes.
I wonder what that represents. Maybe The guy is a laundryman. Or maybe that represents like the days that passed. Like its apparel means one day from season to another season. It's like autumn leaves. That's a nice, very beautiful scene. He has pink hair.
That's Jimmy.
Oh, look at that photography. I love that. Hanging snakes and birds. That's it?
Okay, so this is Spring Day Explained.
Okay. Wait, what tragedy are they talking about?
The Seawall Ferry tragedy. So there's this tragedy in Korea years ago where a group of students, I think they're high school students, went on a field trip. And the ferry that they're in sank.
I think I heard that.
And you'll see more of that in.
Here, Taeyong is feeling survivor's guilt, the guilt of having survived while
Taeyong.
his friends have passed. Many people who have lost their loved ones often feel like committing suicide themselves so they can meet the other person in the afterlife. I think that's natural for a person who has survived to feel guilt. Well, I hear of people wishing that they die so they can be together with the other person. But committing suicide could be true but tragic. I don't want to think about that. How many people died in that tragedy?
I'm not sure.
Yes. That is sad. That is sad. Wonder what happened because they say the Korean government has been heavily criticized by the way they handled the tragedy and that they did not disclose the whole truth. The families were kept in the dark about what happened. Yeah. So this song is like a tribute to those who died in the tragedy, those
Yes.
who were part of the accident. Most tragically, the captain told the people to just stay rather than leave. So they are blaming the captain about what happened because he instructed the people to stay instead of evacuate. Sometimes people people in authority just do what the best they can, but still falls short of people's expectations. And, everybody, not all people act the same. to certain pressures or certain situations.
And you learn a lot about Korean culture also with this. In Korea, apparently, their culture, people who are in authority or who have higher position, um, whatever they say should be followed.
Yeah, that's typically Asian.
Yes.
Typically Asian, especially the Asian Koreans or Asian Thais. Not the Filipino though. Not the
Sometimes.
Filipino Asians though. I'm Filipino. So yeah, they are, I should say, submissive to authorities.
And so in that story, apparently, the captain told the students to stay put.
Yeah, because they recognize his authority and they recognize that he knows
Right.
what he's doing.
Belong to the front. You belong to the tail. Know your place. Keep your place.
Yeah, he's saying here that like young people, their culture being that young people are submissive, are expected to be submissive to older ones, or ordinary citizens are expected to always follow orders. I think there has been awakening for generations already. There's been an awakening that, young people have a voice too. Ordinary citizens have a voice too. And that if there is something wrong going on, they should say something.
Right.
If
should
they
be
see
able to
something
speak
wrong or
themselves.
a danger is coming, they should speak up. They should speak up. It is their right. This goes beyond culture. Being right goes beyond culture. Doing what is right should go beyond the boundaries of culture. Very much relatable to racism. Like there are people who are considered inferior and people who consider themselves superior to people of color, people of other nationalities, people who grow up in certain regions. Yeah, this is, you can relate this to the issue of racism too, which is sad to realize that's still ongoing. Omelas is the name of the fictional town. Wait, let's go back to that. I like that. It says here it's about how someone's happiness and prosperity means someone else's suffering. There are those who ignore the suffering to stay happy. Ignorance is bliss. Then there are those who walk away from it. This is heavy on my heart, really. A truth, this is society's truth. People who take advantage of other people so that they will be happy, they will prosper. So there's a lot of people who belong to the marginalized society, and it's just sad that they're being taken advantage of. or people who just don't care, even if there is injustice going on around them. Let's go on. This is a very good, like, metaphor that this young BTS guy who goes in front of the train, symbolizing that he goes there to confront injustice. That is bravery, that is courage. That is courage to confront injustice. When injustice is going on around us, we don't just sit down. We don't take it sitting down. We say something, we do something. I would say personally, within the boundaries of peace, and by peaceful means, and not violence, I would say. I hate violence. Very good photography. Yeah, very, very, very good symbolism. These boys are grieving over the loss of friends. Grieving is a process that we should let ourselves go through. The feeling of emptiness, the feeling of being abandoned by the loved one who passed is a process. And during the process of grieving, if we are not really connected to God, and even if we're connected, it's like a lot of thoughts come into our mind, and some good ones, some bad ones. But we get into loneliness, sadness, and even depression because of the tragedy that we have seen or witnessed, or just, even if we did not witness it, just the loss of a loved one is so traumatic that leaves us empty and longing for that loved one. Here's the laundry room scene. An 18-year-old boy who spoke for the survivors said, "Grown-ups are constantly telling us to forget and cheer up. But we will remember and recollect our friends, because not forgetting them is what we can do at best. Just as we will remember them, please don't forget them." Yeah, it's easy for people to tell, especially grown-ups, older people, to tell young people to just get out of it, forget it, cheer up, go on with life. But then we should always consider that these young kids, young as they are, have emotions too. And they too hurt. They too feel pain. And we should not disregard it or ignore it. This is a very common mistake of older people. Even in a family, for example, a father dies, the attention is on the mother who was left with the kids. And the mother would grieve, 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 but then they neglect that the kids too are coping with their emotions, with the loss of their father. That is not right. We should not neglect children or younger people. It's not easy for them to deal with loss. Don't forget. The mountain pile of clothes represent the victims. Oh, that's why. Okay. A 40-foot tall mountain pile of clothing is an art installation. Each piece of clothing was deposited on top of the mountain pile, symbolically carrying the souls of those who inhabited the clothes to a higher place. This might have been the inspiration for the clothes pile. Yeah. That's I think that's a good piece of art. Very symbolical. 40-foot mountain pile of clothing, that's a lot of people who died. That is so sad. As life moves on, the boys realize it's their duty to seek justice. The yellow ribbons behind are similar to the stay wall firing. Let's go back. The carousel. Is that a carousel? A ferry? A merry-go-round? Is that a merry-go-round? Or what do you call that? Anyway.
Carousel.
Yeah, it symbolizes the childhood that was robbed. These people who were robbed of their childhood, that they could have been, these young kids could have been enjoying their childhood, their youth, but then the tragedy cut short their lives. Okay. When you have something to fight for, sometimes you think you're alone doing the fight, but then you realize there are other people. When you start it, or you just take the initiative to fight injustice, you realize, and you will later find that there are other people who have this same conviction, so that you are no longer alone. It is a gloomy sight. Yeah, this mountain of clothes is a monument to remember the ones who passed. The humans in the movie, the humans are stuck living inside the train because the world outside is completely frozen. It represents how many of us are stuck inside the society or government that is oppressive with no way out. Yeah. A lot of societies are like that. Government not taking responsibility to bring justice or to give the people what they deserve. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of resilience for the people not to be broken. Governments could be oppressive and unjust, and some people may feel like there's no way out. And then somebody comes and thinks that there is a possible way out. The snowflake symbolizes hope. Snowflake in the middle of winter. Here, Jimin steps out of the train, out of the oppressive system that is a society and government that had tried to downplay the tragedy. He invites us with him. That takes courage. This just demonstrates that sometimes it takes one person to initiate it, to fight injustice. It just takes one person, and then the others are encouraged, and then you show them the possibility that there's a way out. Even the circumstances that we are in, it doesn't have to be government injustice or society injustice. Even in our daily lives, sometimes we are stuck in a situation when we think there's no way out. I'm gonna die like this. This is my fate. This is what God gave me. But there's always a way out. We just have to take the initiative to see beyond our situation. You have to take a step of faith to discover, to know what's beyond the bend, like the song goes. The tree represents hope, a new life, a spring day, a spring as a symbol of hope. This tree that has no leaves from the cold of winter will soon have leaves, will grow leaves, will be green. Just as we cannot forget them, we ask that the citizens of this country also never forget them. Thanks for watching. This video is a very good movie. It's full of symbolization of analogies and metaphors. It's kind of it's kind of sad, but I'm glad that the BTS did that, because that proves that all the more proves that they are not just any ordinary boy band. They are relevant to social issues. It's good to know that the BTS is a very wide platform. Yeah, I've only seen 3 videos, and I really have just pure admiration for their group, and they're using their popularity they're using it as a platform to push certain issues that are relevant to society. Yeah.
And I think I
BTS.
mentioned this from a previous video, that as you watch more videos of BTS, you'll see that they always have a message. It's not like
That's very good.
And so, are you excited to watch more?
Yes, I'll do it anytime. Okay, so friends, expect more BTS videos, more BTS reviews, and if you like this video, please hit like and share. You may comment too, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. This is your, how do you call me?
Oma.
Oma. What is Oma?
Mom in Korean.
Oh, Oma. This is Oma. Bye.